This is Carl with the three things I'm watching for Monday, October the 27th. Starting out, we have the framework for a trade deal with China. Now, this isn't a full trade deal, but it's pretty close to it. We just got to get a few of the final details out, and we do not know the details, or at least haven't seen any confirmation of any details on this yet. But the framework of a trade deal or negotiations have reached that point between the U.S. and China, expected to be signed later this week when President Trump and President Xi meet. The big question is how much or what does this mean for U.S. soybean exports? China has roughly about 300 million bushels of soybean needs that they need to cover. Depends who you ask, but we're going to say around 300 million bushels. Most of those likely are going to come out of the United States if they need them all. China's import demand is a little bit suspect right now. They've slowed up quite a bit of their buying from Brazil. They have a lot of product come in from Argentina. Crush margins negative again in China, so we don't know how much they'll buy, but we're likely going to see some buying. The cash market has kind of been telling you that there's been something going on. We've seen basis tightening for a few months here, or a few weeks, excuse me. Some pretty sizable tightness in basis. Freight's been getting booked. Spreads. I mean, the market's telling you something has been going on. And I know there's some analysts out here that tell you that spreads and basis don't mean anything in the cash market or tell you what's going on, but if you want to follow them, best of luck to you. But I am telling you, something has been going on in the cash market for the past several weeks here. Government's been closed for 24 days. China could be in buying soybeans and corn. You wouldn't know it. The second thing, speaking of corn, well, we do have the trade relations, and that's a good deal with China. We are at odds with Colombia again, and this is escalating. I'm a little concerned with this on our corn demand. Colombia, third largest U.S. corn export destination. Just because we get the Chinese business back doesn't mean we can lose business everywhere else. We got some trade deals to work out. Like I said, Colombia, a big one. Canada would be second on the list. And there's others, but yes, all in all, the trade deal looking pretty good on the grain side as we head into Monday's trade. Third and final thing, in case anybody noticed, we had limit losses in the livestock complex last week. That's the second time or 2 days last week we had limit losses in the feeders. Um, Interesting point of view I want to spin out on this. USDA has said they want to import beef. Got hit pretty hard with that news. Opening the door to feeder cattle imports, and that's likely going to happen. We're likely going to see the feeder imports resume when President Trump and the Mexican officials meet this week, or when they meet, I should say. Likely we're going to see a relaxing of that. I would not be surprised, especially after we have that New World screwworm vaccine now. Here's what's interesting. The White House's main objective to this was to lower beef costs for the United States. Now, we do need the feeder cattle. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is if you pay attention, box beef, since you have announced this, has rallied. Box beef is basically the wholesale market that goes into your grocers. So bottom line is even though we have limit losses in cattle futures, your beef at the retail counter is likely going to get even more expensive with this box beef rallying the way it has. Um, and it goes back to the same old adage till we can get more beef in. And I'm not talking Argentine beef by any means at all, but until we can get our cattle herd built back up, that box beef is going to remain strong. And when that remains strong, guess what? Your retail prices are going to remain strong. And it's kind of a cycle there. One day of limit losses in feeders and fats isn't going to do it. We're going to have to see a little bit more there to turn that complex. But it makes for some interesting trade. Expanded limits in cattle today, 1075 on the fats, 1375 on the feeders. Those are the three things I'm going to be watching today.